Hello, my name's Devin Galani. I'm the Director of Policy and Practice. We developed the Universal Benefit Calculator, and I'm here to walk you through the latest version. As you can see, it has a new look and feel. It models both the current benefit system and universal credit side by side. In this example, I'll walk you through a case for the current system. We've added a whole range of additional features, including the ability to take into account free school meals. Some people want to, some people don't. In this case, I'll say yes. It's not a cashable amount, but it does have an impact on the better off in work calculation. So our household information, I'll just do a case for my family very quickly growing up. You'll recognize this screen. It's very similar to the original, but some nice features. It only asks you the questions that are relevant. So partners questions only come up if you're in a couple, but if you're single, then they're hidden. And the same goes for children. So children's questions only come up if you have children. So just enter some basic information. So my dad was 35, my mum was 33, 3 children, no sickness support. We did grow up in the East Midlands, but if you change this, then the local area changes. And we grew up in Leicester, living in private rented accommodation in a 3-bed property. And this automatically pre-populates with the local housing allowance, although if we had different rent, then I just enter it here, or you can enter it as a weekly amount if you prefer. So there was me, 7, my twin sister, 7, and my older sister, who's 5 years older. Because we're capturing information on the ages and gender of children, it takes into account the size criteria calculation automatically. Also takes into account the benefit cap, non-dependence, local support schemes as well. You only need to answer these questions if they're relevant, so they're hidden away in accordions. There was no DLA or PIP, but if there was, the advisor would just click on this and be able to enter the information here by selecting the appropriate level. Moving on to step 2. So my family would have been receiving £2,010 per month, but most people understand it weekly, so I can show the amounts, all of the amounts as weekly. A neat feature, if you hover over, it shows you how that amount was reached. So the housing element, if there was any deductions for the bedroom tax or for the benefit cap, you'd see it here. You can override any of these values should you need to. As you can see here, free school meals taken into account, which many calculators don't do. You can input values here manually and override anything. So if anyone's on a legacy benefit, or if they're having their values reduced, or if they disagree with any of the calculations, you can override them here. The important bit, what if you were to move into work? So I'll just very quickly enter a job, £7 an hour, 35 hours a week, full time. You can enter income as gross or net. If you were self-employed, additional guidance pops up here. If you've, for example, entered a wage that's below national minimum wage, the information will pop up here. But if you hover over, there's additional guidance, so you can see that the minimum wage rates differ depending on your age, so it's there for the advisor. Questions about partners' earnings, because we're a couple. If we weren't, then this question wouldn't be here. Questions about expenses of work, so for example, childcare. In this case there wasn't any, but let's say there were some travel costs of £10 per week, although I can enter it any way I want. Tax credits, previous year's income for completeness, better off in work calculation. This is the important bit. Now you can actually see that you're better off in work, in this case by £96.50 per month. So before I was getting my free school meals, child benefit, housing element, child element, base element. Now I've lost my base element, I'm still getting my child element, I've lost a lot of my housing element, still getting child benefit, getting net earnings with the travel costs deducted, and working tax credit as well. But I have lost my free school meal, so it gives you a true better off in work calculation, which I think is really important. A whole bunch of additional management information here. I'll just show you a neat feature, which takes a second or two to load. It's really simple to use. As you can see, I've run through the whole thing in 5 minutes. If you have any questions at all, do contact us at Policy and Practice.